Now then, how's it going? I'm Albert Carston, and in today's episode of Let's Take a Look At, I get killed from a mile away, like in this game.
Don't be.
Yeah, stop being polite.
Typhun likes Italian tanks,
Do you know what? I've forgotten how much fun Italian tanks actually are. I do enjoy this tank.
and Pigeon hallucinates seals. Okay, it don't look too bad, you're just yellow.
Yeah, so there's no thing on it.
What, you don't see the seals covering it?
Hello and welcome to I hope is the first in a long series of vids on the tanks, planes and ships of World War II and how they play in the MMO War Thunder. Today we will be looking at the Italian Army's Caro Medio Modello M1340. I'm sorry if I butchered that, I'm not Italian. The original was ordered by the Italian Army to act as a medium tank in the line of battle to replace the M1139. Its hull was a modified version of its predecessor, constructed with riveted steel plates measuring 30mm in thickness on the front and 20mm down the sides and rear. Its turret was protected by 40mm in the front and mantlet, widened and lengthened to allow the quite effective 47mm Bredo Modello 35 to be fitted. That in and itself was also an updated version of a gun already in use, the 47mm Carronade de 37-42 anti-tank gun, making it more than able of dealing with British light tanks in the desert. Powered by an SPA M40 140cc V8 diesel engine, producing 125 horsepower up to a top speed of 31 kilometers an hour, roughly 20 miles an hour. While slow, it nonetheless gave the tank exceptional range for its time of 200 kilometers. It ran on two bogies on each side, which had been reinforced due to the extra weight. The first M1340s only had a crew of 3, eventually reaching crews of 4 with the installation of radio sets. The driver sat on the front, sat on the left, with a radio operator sat next to him using the twin 8mm Breda machine guns. In the turret, shooting the main gun and commanding the tank, was the tank commander. Next to him, was also in the turret, was the gun loader, who could also work the 8mm AA mounted on top of the turret. Used for the first time during the Battle of Bardia, then during the Battle of Baie de Somme, most were lost to artillery fire rather than other tanks. The M13 also took part during the invasion of Greece, where they saw little success against British Matildas but could comfortably engage and destroy British cruiser tanks. By the time of 1942, with the introduction of M3 Lees and Sherman tanks to the British ranks, the M1340 was all but useless at anything but point-blank range. At one point, 230 were lost in a rearguard action at the Second Battle of El Alamein. Being heavily outdated at the time with its thin armour and slow speed, it couldn't hope to match the more modern tanks it now faced. The last of the M1340s were used right up until the end of the war in 1945. Its replacement, the M1542, never been produced in enough numbers to fully replace it. In War Thunder, the M1340 sits at BR 1.7 to 2.0, typically used as a breakthrough tank using its relatively thick armour for its BR to ricochet shots, close the distance and one-shot hostile tanks. Be careful though, after 500 metres its gun quickly loses its ability to pen, making it unsuitable to be used as a sniper. Also, with its armour being almost vertical on most of the tank, angling is very important. Your manoeuvrability is also inadequate in all but the flattest of terrain, so stay away from those steep climbs. In battle, you're best used in flanking attacks, closing with 100 to 200 metres and punishing those who don't angle particularly well. SPGs and soft-skinned vehicles are your ideal target. Leave the main battle line to heavier, better protected vehicle. As a side note, enjoy the light grey camo while you can. There's a lot of yellow coming. For its time, in 1940 to 41, the M1340 was an adequate light tank, comparable to the Soviet T-26. While useless against Matilda tanks, its 47mm gun was more than capable of taking on other light tanks, which for its time was a really capable gun, able to fire both AT and HE shells, making it able to engage armour as well as gun crews and infantry, mitigating the need for other support vehicles. Added to that, the simplistic design and production process allowed for these tanks to be made in large numbers. used by the Italian army, salvaged by the Australians, and used by the Egyptian armed force. This tank saw its final use in the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. So here we go, we are watching my good friend Arron 74 from Last Stand Gamers in a game we played last night where he got a total of 13 kills, killed the enemy team like twice over. So he did a really good game. I did relatively poorly in this game, but we're going to run commentary on Arron's game instead because he shows the ideal way how to use the tank. So here we go, he's moving over to flank Charlie to act as a blocking force to stop the enemy pushing in on it. He's got eyes on some target. He's got eyes on the T-34. He lets off a couple of rounds. And he kills it. There we go. Not T-34. T-28, I believe it was. Didn't engage it direct. And took it out from the side effectively as it tried to come through the tunnel. Here he goes. He's moving more along the side. He's picked a decent position now. Again, overlooking Charlie, but looking past Charlie. To stop any units coming in. He's manoeuvring round. Now manoeuvring to act as a blocking force. Does he see the target? He sees the T-26. Killed by somebody else, unfortunately. So he's looking for a target. He's spotted something. He's giving fire to the LVT, but he's taking fire off a separate target. The Gaz AA, which didn't penetrate his armour. He starts sending shots out to an M13, which he does destroy, keeping his tank angled at all times, managing to pick them off before they notice where he is. But notice he's picking lighter skin targets, so shells will go through, and we'll get into the innards of the tank and blow it up. There we go, there's another shot, taking out another M13. That's his 4th kill, I believe. Now looking around for another target on the flank. He's engaging the M2A4. I believe it's burnt out. It's still going. It's lost track of him. He's engaging it anyway, and there we go, he kills it. For his 5th kill, moving on to position himself at this embankment to reduce the angles the enemy can shoot him at. I believe this is where, yeah, it starts taking fire from an M8. And that's him. He also starts taking fire from an M24 on his flank. And that's where his vehicle burns out. 1 life, 6 kills. And this is just the game starting in the first 6 minutes. I'll just fast forward it a bit now. And we're off. He's now going to try and manoeuvre into the same place. Now he knows that the enemy may push up in that gap between Charlie and the eastern side of the map. Taking it as fast as this vehicle will go. Like I said, in the historical part, any kind of incline, and this vehicle just stops dead. Also turning too rapidly as well, kills the vehicle's momentum. He's lined up that Tetrarch, fluffs it, 2nd shot, fluffs it. He keeps sending shots in, not leading it quite right. These are quite weird shells to get. Yep, I've just realised the name that keeps popping up. I will have to find a name to block that. I'll find a way to block that. So it starts engaging the T-80 in the distance. Oh no, hits a BT-5, kills that, kill 7. Engages the T-80. Ricochets a shot. And pulls it back because he realises he's getting engaged from multiple sides. Pushes forward again. Starts engaging a T-26. Just peeking. His turret over. Keep sending shells. And there we go, T-26 destroyed. I am starting to really enjoy this map in itself. Loads of embankments to hide behind. Yep, by this point I am well and truly dead. There's kill 9, I believe. Oh, they wanted him. Looking around for fresh targets. Sees the T-80, starts pulling off. Starts reversing. Trying to keep only the turret in sight. The T-80 is also doing the same. And here we go, the strange Italian shell struggling to penetrate the T-80. He's still sending it, damages the barrel. He's now safer than he was a minute ago. I think that barrel just blew itself up at that point. He's now advancing and he's going to try and get some rounds into it to kill it. At point blank range, you just can't pen a T-80 with these Italian shells. And there we go, straight down the hole where the machine gun goes. Kill 10, I believe that one was. Random shots in aircraft, because you never know. And he's looking for, manoeuvring for fresh targets now, trying to restrict that line of sight onto him. I think he's heard an engine somewhere. Probably that BT-7 he can't quite see yet. But yeah, I'm well and truly dead at this point. Oh, and there we go, takes a shot up the bum. And that is it for the playthrough. There we go, 11 kills in the Italian M13 40, showing you how effective it can be in the right hands. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, don't forget to like and subscribe and share as much as you can. It's my first video, my editing should get a lot better, theoretically, and I hope you stick with me. I have a lot more videos like this planned. Thank you very much.